So actually, like you said, there's the whole study of like the burning fat, but it goes hand in hand with the heart too. There's really, because it depends. Like you can have a person that again is lifting, let's call it 1.5 times their body weight, right? And then you have a person we'll call it same weight, same height, right? Same age, athletic background, the whole nine. Okay. Pretty much the exact same person. If person A again is lifting 1 point times their body weight, and then person B is running full sprints for, let's call it 2 minutes, right? Let's just do a 4 minutes. Your heart rate could technically go at the same rate of pace, right? So really it depends on the person, right? Like if we're both doing the same workout, right? My heart rate may not beat as fast as yours due to that it's something that maybe I'm used to and you're not, right? Same thing with cardio. We can both run the same, mile, right?
Yeah.
Full sprint if we wanted to, right? But when we got done, my heart could probably feel like it's gonna jump through my chest. Like you could be close, but not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Like you're, but maybe not as fast, right? So again, it depends on the person. End of the day. So as far as, like you said, as far as cardio or strength being more important than the other, like Giselle said, it's going to be the same as 50-50. As far as whether you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, they're going to help you both do both, right? Because you can also, again, with cardio, incorporate that into your strength training, right?
So hit cardio, things like, yeah.
And for endurance of muscle, right? And then that also is going to help you with your cardio. So there's so many different aspects of weightlifting. And then as far as cardio training, there's different aspects of that too, right? You can go and hop on a bike, right? A cycle bike, right? You're like, man, I got the best workout ever, but hop on a treadmill and you're like, this is the worst thing I ever thought.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And then too, like, it's all about like the mentality side of it too, right? Because a lot of people like to run in place or walk in place, right? But like, and that's like me, like I can't run and walk in place. Like I can go play basketball or I can go play football or run around. I can do that. The only time I can do cardio is if I'm just on the Stairmaster or on the bike. That's really what it is. And then it's just that, again, that mental, like if I have to choose one, these are the two that, right? The row machine, right? Things like that.
Yeah.
Any other, but the treadmill, leave me alone, right? Because like I like to, like I want to move and be able to do that. So, but to go back on track, the cardio and strength training is going to be equaled out. But what people have to realize too is all that is important, but your nutrition is probably going to be the biggest thing, right?
Absolutely.
Because obviously with poor nutrition, like you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to lift weights, right? Like you're just spinning your wheels. So yeah. So you can be like, oh, I'm not losing fat, but I'm doing all the cardio and all the strength training in the world. But then ate McDonald's for the last 4 weeks. So
you about to get a lot of hate, Jay. You about to get a lot of hate, man.
Hey man, look.
It's the truth.
Bring it. Just go to all I'm saying, just go to the page. All you gotta do is go to the page. Same thing I'm saying here, the same thing I say there. It's the exact same thing, So, my door is always open. You can come knocking.
You gonna get some people to show up there with, look, they're gonna show up there with some McDonald's, man.
Yeah. You get drop kicked.
I love it, man. I love it. And again, this was a question I had to ask too, because I think it's a very unique, I guess, perspective cardio and strength training has even played in my life. There was a point where, and again, maybe you both can have a can give me a bit of insight as well in regards to what I'm about to say as well. But when I was in college, I would spend, let's say, 5 minutes on cycling, 5 minutes cycling, or maybe 5 minutes on a treadmill, or walking or something like that. And then I would do maybe like 2 hours of lifting weights, actually lifting weights. And I kid you not, I could barely catch my breath when I would like go walking or when I would go running or something like that. Now, again, I hear what you both are saying in regards to they're both are equally important. And I believe so too, to an extent. But when it came to, again, when I would go swimming or when I would try to jog around the track or something like that, after spending like 2 years of just, coming in the gym, 10 minutes of cardio or 10 minutes of like, walking, cycling or something like that. But then 2 hours of lifting weights, I would kind of go around the gym and just cycle around machines, working out. I could barely catch my breath. I could barely breathe. So though you both are saying that there's an importance for both and there's an equal amount of importance with both, for me, it was still a matter of like, man, I could not really breathe, or I could not really, I think I was even dealing with my pressure, my blood pressure at the time, and my A1C. However, when I focused on walking more. I would walk like an hour a day. Both my A1C and my pressure went down. So what would y'all say about that? Like, how does that, I get that they're both, you're saying that they're both are important, but when I focus more on cardio in regards to the A1C or blood pressure, things like that, my blood work actually improved more than working out for 2 hours, 2 hours a day. What would y'all say about that?
You want to go first, Giselle?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think ultimately you said you started walking more and your blood pressure went down and what'd you say? Your other thing?
A1C. Yeah.
A1C
The
went down.
glucose. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that just stems from, again, like the cardio was able to help you because you're working your heart and you're pumping your oxygen when you're walking, right? You're pumping more and more over time, and it's going to start to increase little by little. I don't know if you were increasing more and more over time. Basically, is that what you were saying?
Yeah. I increased my cardio. My strength training stayed the same. It was still working out kind of the same, but I increased cardio, and that pretty much lowered my pressure and my A1C. So I'm trying to see like the correlation in that, like exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just stems from, again, like it goes back to like what cardio is. Like it's going to help your oxygen levels, or how it's going to help your body be able to utilize oxygen more properly, maybe even faster. And the same thing with your heart, your blood pumping and everything. So I'm just assuming, like that definitely is going to lower your blood pressure because it's easier for your body now. Whereas maybe before it was a lot harder because you weren't really doing it that much.
So the strength training wasn't working the heart as much. Is that what you're saying? As like the cardio did?
Well, I mean, if you're saying it stayed the same, then probably not. I mean, at least to me, probably not.
Right.
Because you increased the walking, not the strength training. So yeah, that stayed the same. So, because if it wouldn't have lowered your blood pressure and all that, then that means that you wouldn't have increased the walking. It probably would stay the same.
Exactly. Okay. Jay, you were gonna say something? Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about strength training is like the moment that you stay stagnant in your strength training, right? Your heart your heart's pump is hard. It's just like as if you're used to walking a mile every day. Like you're not gonna results, right? So like you said, the key word in that whole thing was that you increased, right? Right? So increase the cardio. And the weightlifting, the strength training was basically you're just maintaining it, right? So at this point, you're maintaining the muscle. You're not really going up. You're not going down, right? But your cardio is going up, right? And in a sense, technically, you probably did lose a little bit of muscle because, again, you're maintaining the strength, right? But size is going down because there's no stress on the muscle, right? But then your cardio, again, going up, you're able to, again, even though as much as you're increasing the cardio and it's getting harder and harder for you to breathe, right? That just shows that you had a lack of like lung strength more than anything, right? But again, the inner workings are working, right? So your strength training, you're breaking down cortisol levels, you're breaking down and helping the blood flow pump, right? Cardio. So like I said, your blood pressure is going down, okay? Your glucose is going down, right? And then again, you got to factor in the third factor, which is diet. So as you're doing all these things, you're probably changing up how you're eating. So let's look at it like the New Year's resolutioner, right? When a New Year's resolutioner is like, oh, hey, in my first, 2 weeks of working out, I've already lost 8 pounds, right? And you're like, okay, like, well, what is it that you're doing from this month versus this month? That they're actually going to the gym consistently, their cardio, strength training, and then they're throwing in their diet. 9 times out of 10, they're like, I'm just going to eat a salad, right? With science today, they basically, debunked just eating salads is not going to help that, right? But it does, it helps, but it's not going to be the end all result, right? So now you take somebody's New Year's resolutioner that has, used the same situation, blood pressure and, the glucose situation, right? They are getting consistent in the gym, right? They are focusing on strength, cardio, and let's just say they've already been working on their nutrition because of this health problem, right? So now they're in these two things. And once those 3 activate together, right, not only are they going to obviously see the weight loss side of it, but then the inner workings are going to start to happen of everything dropping down. So when the doctor, let's call it, in February, or they're checking it and they're just noticing like, oh, like my blood pressure is or my glucose is regulated, like, right? And then they go back and go eat, let's just call it a piece of cake because they're like, oh, well, I felt good. Right? And then and then it spikes again, right? Right. So again, you've got to keep all 3 of these in check in order for everything to work properly. Right. So and you get a lot of like athletes that have this issue, like especially after they're done. A lot of these athletes have the same issue where you see them all kind of blow up, like a star athlete from high school, right? And you saw them today and they haven't been working out. Right? Same anymore, right? Because they're still they're eating like they were when they were in their prime or in the best shape of their life, right? So again, like you've got to add, like, I don't think it's fair to say like cardio and strength is more important when you have a third factor. And in your situation, that third factor, whether you were already working on it prior or with the weightlifting, like all 3 of those, like you put all 3 in motion and then you got the result that you got. So it wasn't just like, oh, it was just because you did cardio or just because you did strength. Like if you what you were intaking, that's when everything balanced out for you. Is when all.
I love that, bro. No, I'm actually glad. Actually, you actually man, I should actually added that to it. I should have did cardio versus strength training versus nutrition. That would have been a good one too. But I'll add that into it because again, I love how you added the nutritional aspect to this, which is again very important. Like you said, very important. Something to it that I think, man, I would even say cardio and strength training versus nutrition. Like I even kind of want to go that route. But yeah, I love it. I love what you said. I love what you both said. The advice that you both gave. And I think that definitely what you both said played a part in what was going on. Next question. Do we need cardio? Would either of you say can someone isolate cardio, just do strength training and even nutrition? Just strength training and nutrition. Let's say that we add that in there. Do we need cardio? Is cardio something that needs to be done?
Yeah, absolutely. In my opinion, it does. Like you said, and it goes back to the round and round, like, there's going to be people that say yes, it's great. There's some people that say no, it's not. But just looking at it from, let's just look at it from the non-athletic standpoint, the non-bodybuilder standpoint. You know what I mean? Like you're going to need it, like, because how else are you going to fully achieve the goal that you are looking for? You know what I mean? Bodybuilders, yeah, like, are they on PEDs? Absolutely. So does that help their cause of like, oh, you don't need cardio? To an extent, yeah. Have like your athletes that we'll just use a football athlete.
Yeah.
They might be like, oh, I don't go run on the treadmill every day, but you out there running them wind sprints,
True.
So again, there's different strokes for different folks. Like there's different types of cardio that you're gonna do. It just depends on what it is that you need it for. And that's just my own opinion. So
I love it, man. I love it. And Giselle, would you say we need? Okay. Let's cut me out. Like, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think everyone should work on their cardio a little bit. You know what I mean? I just think it's important. Again, just think it's like there's balance with everything. There's always like middle ground with everything. I feel like doing too much of something is like, even doing too much of cardio is not good either. So too much of cardio, you're gonna lose fat, but you're gonna lose muscle as well. But we need muscle. We need our muscles, especially as we get older. We definitely need our muscles. Like for example, like the elderly, like that's why they have a lot of injuries, because of their lack of muscle, lack of bone density. So it's like stuff like that. Overall, I think just try to be balanced as much as possible.
Is muscle not?
In other words, you got to be jacked at 65.
Yeah.
That's how. You got to be jacked at 65. Whatever you got to.
That's what it sounds like. That's what. And even what you just said too, Giselle. Can you not build muscle with cardio?
Wait.
I'm curious. I have no idea, but can you?
Because let me tell you something. When I first started working out, remember how I told you in the beginning? In the very beginning, when I first started working out, all I was doing was cardio. And I got super, super thin. Like no type of course, technically, I have my muscles, but they're not big, or I'm not growing my muscles. Like I slimmed down a lot.
But are you saying, like, because you said too much cardio is not good, but are you saying like it literally can get to the point to where like you're degrading your muscles? Like are you telling me like someone walking right here being like like jello if they keep doing cardio? Like I'm legit asking that question. Like can cardio in a sense deteriorate your muscles to the point to where you don't, like, you're at like a really low muscle percentage? I'm actually curious.
Well, possibly not to that extreme. Not like to that extreme. I mean, again, keep in mind, like, you're still gonna have your muscles technically. I'm just more talking like size wise.
Okay.
More size wise, you know what I mean? Yeah, over time, of course, you do start to lose muscle over time. Same thing with the size, and the density and everything. I mean more like size wise.
No, that's a good topic. I'm glad you stated that, because I don't think I've ever really heard too much cardio is bad. But if you're saying that you can lose, or it can get you to a certain percentage of muscle that is dangerous, I think that is something that I would even want to talk about as well later. But that's interesting. That's very interesting. Jay, I'm not sure if you have anything to say about that.
So the bodybuilders, right? They say, obviously, we were talking about earlier, like they say like no cardio, right? Because they want to pack on as much muscle as possible, right? So they're going to do what they got to do, whether, like I said, PEDs, testosterone, like do what you got to do, right? As a bodybuilder. But again, there's like a little sweet spot for bodybuilders. That's why if you see most bodybuilders doing cardio, especially if it's like an elliptical or usually an elliptical or Stairmaster. Stairmaster, you usually see them no more than like 5 to 10 minutes, right? Elliptical, no more than like 20 minutes, right? Stairmaster is usually about the same, about 15 to 20 minutes, right? And they're usually on an incline, right? Because whatever little bit of body fat that they need to drop, they need to cut that off, right? But then you see them really, again, targeting that one muscle the whole nine. I know, like for me, like especially like when I'm like cutting, right? So I'm in like cut mode, and I start doing more cardio, right? I can still hit my strength training, right? Increasing in strength and all that. But for my body type, and again, I could be going over, but I will lose like Giselle said, the size of your muscle, right? Now I'm not necessarily losing strength, but the look, that big look, you cut down more, right? But then you can always put that back on, obviously, right? Just by changing
eating
or cardio that you're doing, right? And then also too, it's about how much protein, again, because nutrition, like that. So if you're not intaking the amount of protein that you need to intake, right? Hold on to the muscle when you are doing the so like for me, because I went on this whole like let me just supplement cleanse, like no protein.
Oh wow, yeah.
As far as like the natural chickens and like things like that, like for my actual foods, and just getting back on like eating regular and on point, and getting back onto my supplements. Because I think we talked about this before. Like I only take like 3 or 4 supplements, right? Besides like your multivitamins and fish oils, like I only take protein powder, BCAAs because it just kicks the like sugar rush that I want to, like with a soda or something like. And then my ATP creatine. So there's only those 3 supplements, but again, you can take, if I take out protein, right, and in the cardio, and I'm still weight training, I'm gonna lose much protein intake as your body needs, right? But that you start to do the cardio, the strength training, and then you're shoveling in that protein, whether it's protein shake on top of your food, your size is more likely to stay, and then you're gonna get that cut that people are looking for.
So going back to Giselle's point, that the danger of cardio could be, and I guess again that third part, nutrition, being that if you aren't intaking the proper nutrition that you need, you can get to this dangerous level of like maybe even injury, right? Because at this point you don't even have the muscle to keep up with the cardio and strength training if you're cutting out protein.
Well, more like the size.
Yeah, it would be your size, not necessarily the injury, because like I said, like you can cut down, right? Let's say you even just lose size just in general, right? We'll call it like 3%, 3-4% of body muscle size, right? But your strength can still be there. That's why you see like some of these like wiry guys, like 25, right? They could have at one point gotten bigger, right? Just in size, cut down. They're not doing everything that they need to do, but then they hop back on and start hitting 225 again. The strength is still there for that person, right? Versus if like like with my injury, right? Remember we were talking about work back up, right? Like so good in one arm, right? But then on my other side, it just because of the injury, right? It had nothing to do with the muscle size being lost, right? It was just because I was injured. But when you are again focusing on the cardio side of things, right, and you're not properly intaking what you need to intake, again, you're not gonna have to worry about like being hurt. But if you start to lift, let's just say you're trying to hit 315, and you never hit it before, but you're trying to hit 315, but you don't have the strength or the size behind you, then like you're at a higher chance to possibly hurt yourself, right? Because you're not properly lifting at that point, right? You're not properly working up. But if you're still training properly, while like again, like you do that, like I did, do a supplement detox, and you're still properly training, you're not gonna step. You just might cut down in size, but you're not gonna lose that step and then you get back on the protein, you're just like adding rocket fuel to, you know what I mean? Like to your
yeah.
That's really all you're doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Hey, that's why I leave this stuff to y'all, man. I just asked the questions. It's too much. But I love it. I love it. Thank y'all both.
Get it down. Like once you get it down, it's pretty cut and dry. Like it's not too bad.
Yeah. It's a science, bro. Like, you know, just everything you're saying, everything both of you all are saying, like it's so, like you said, it's complex initially, but as you kind of get to understand it, like you said, it becomes this cut and dry thing. But again, that's why we have personal trainers, man. That's hey, this is just too much for me. Seriously, that's why I couldn't do it. I I tried it. I couldn't do it. I said, I had one client. I said, you know what? That's it. I told her you're gonna have to quit because I quit.
You just left her there.
I like you're gonna have to go because I'm going. But yeah, like, you keep paying me if you want to. But all right. When it comes to strength training, do we need that? Is it the same equal amount of need for strength training, or can you just do cardio again? Maybe keep a balanced nutrition and maintain that, and just, you know, not really strength train. I think I know a few people that actually do that actually don't strength train. But I'm not sure if that's healthy. Do we need it?
I personally think so, because again, we need, like, it's important to strengthen our muscles. We use we use them every single day. Like if you drop something, you bend down to pick something up. It gets as simple as that. There's also like another part of strength training, like functional training a little bit. And like one of the trainers at my gym, he focuses a lot on that. Like his primary like clientele is like the elderly. And he has them like lift, and they be lifting weights. Some of them really be like they lift. I love seeing that. But anyways, but yeah, like little things like that, like focusing on weights will help them be able to do day-to-day normal things. Like
mobility, yeah.
Yes, like well, mobility and then like functional stuff. So like functional stuff more like, again, like if you have to squat, pick something up, if you got to get your groceries out the car, you know, because again, that's something that a lot of people struggle with as they get older. They can't even do that. They don't have the strength to do it. They can't do that. So, or even if they have to reach up high, you know, or something. It's just, yeah. To me, it's super important. We all need it, you know. Yeah.
No, that's true. Cause like, you know, I just had a buddy, like, you know, honestly, like one of my like best friends. He doesn't weight train, you know what I mean? Like he's getting back into it now, but like he really kind of got that like kick in the butt because he said he was lifting up to go change a light bulb and threw his own back out. Like, you know what I mean? So like it's like when you, what is that saying? Like you don't use it, you lose it.
You
like,
lose it, yeah.
Like it's true. And like, you know, this guy was, you know, a solid athlete too, you know, but again, like, you know, life and things like that, like when you start to we all get complacent, you know, and, you know, things start to happen. So then when your body's like, okay, hey, like I'm not used to having to stretch up this high because you're usually here, but now you want me to go here. Yeah, give me your back. You know what I mean? Or give me that here. You know what I mean? Like your body's it's gonna reject you for trying to do something as simple as getting groceries out of the car or something like that. So yeah, no, dude, strength training, it's more than like you said, it's very important to do both. But the strength training again is going to help you, you know, just function and keep the muscle size to keep you going. Because again, like you said, as we, you know, let's just look at the spine. You know, you stop training your back and your spine, you know, your spine's like this, right? But have all these muscles compressing it, right? So we'll use it like this. So you have all of them like this, right? Sitting in between it, right? So then as you are getting weaker, right? Your muscles come away from that spine. Now your spine's all messed up, right? And then you get that hunchback, or, you know, they throw their back out, things like that. But the more that you keep training the back or just even other muscle groups, right? You're gonna create this like secure placement for your spine, right? I think after you and I had our call,
Mm-hmm.
like I wish on my back, like I went to go deadlift a lot, right? It was it 5? I think it was like 525. I went to go deadlift 525. Got the wrong shoes on, right? So mine's a whole nother situation, right? But it goes to show, like, I was literally down for 7 days. Like most people that throw their back, like you're down for, I mean, I've had people go down, they're down and out for months.
For years, yeah.
Months, years, right? But the fact that, you know, we train the way that we train, like me and my group of buddies, like the way that, and we're hitting, you know, multiple sides of the back. Like we may not do the entire back on back day. We might hit just the upper, or we might just hit lower, or we might hit just lats. Like we're constantly training, but in a month, you're going to hit every portion of the back, right? Especially training 6 days a week, things like that. But for me, when I got hurt, and I was again down for 7 days, like it was a weird 7, because it was like day 1 through 3, like I was tore up. You know what I mean? Like I can't walk, but your muscles go into like that guarded state to protect the spine, right? So if you don't strength train, you'll never have that guard state if something was to ever happen, to help protect your spine, right? And then day 4 and 5, I was like, okay, like I feel a little bit, I could walk a little better, but I'm not like there yet. You know what I mean? Day 6, I was like walking cool, but like it still would like kind of a little bit, like if you move too fast, right? And again, that's just that muscle going into that guarded state to like protect the spine, right? Because it's not fully healed yet. By 7, I was working out again.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like light, like super light, but it was okay. Like, let me at least try to get some blood flow going. Like, you know, I did like a little bit of like back, like extension, like on the little back machines, you know, to kind of help again, pump blood to heal, right? And we strength train to pump blood to help heal muscles. By like day 8, 9, 10, I was solid. You know what I mean? I didn't skip a beat, you know? So it does, you know, and obviously there's like other healing factors, like, you know, ice bath, you know, things like that. But within those 7 days, like if you have, let's just call it a person over 50 who hasn't been working out, they throw their back out, they're usually down for like 2-3 weeks. You know, they're like, oh, I got to go to the doctor. I need to go get a shot. I need to, you know what I mean? I got to do all these things to try to feel better. And if you strength train, you won't have to worry about the doctor. You know what I mean? Like if you as much, like if you cardio, you know what I mean? Again, we'll go nutrition, cardio, strength training. If you're doing those 3 things, like you don't have to worry about doctor, health, life. You know what I mean? Like it's like in that order. Like you don't have to worry about those things, like because you're taking care of it on the front end, you know? And the great thing about fitness is like you can get started at any time and you're gonna help energize like your longevity. You know what I mean? So yeah, you might start at 50 years old. You don't have to go in there and lift the whole gym. You don't have to try to lift like 20-year-old kids trying to max out themselves, right?
Yeah.
There, you know, hit, you know, 135 on bench, you know, it'd be a struggle bus for you, but hey, you're getting stronger. Like you're hitting your cardio, you're doing this. Like me, like there's days where I'm like, you know what, bro, I'm not hitting anything more than 225 today on any lift this week. Like if it's more than 225, don't ask me to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like and my standpoint is like, what's the need? Like, why do I have to go out here? Like, cause I have one of my boys, he likes to lift heavy all the time. He's like, I want to hit for what? I'm not trying to end up like Ronnie Coleman. You know what I mean? Like, I want to still be around, be cool. Because if you train too hard, you know, you do put yourself in that situation also. Because again, you know, you got confidence. So if you are lifting too much, right, or too heavy, I should say, not too much, but if you're lifting too heavy, you run the risk of having health factors later on. But in a certain bracket, then yes, you are going to be solid. And that's why like I hate like the Instagram list, like I was telling you, because these Instagram are like, if you can't lift more than 225, you're not a gym bro. And you have a kid hitting like, he's like 90 pounds trying to hit 225, like you're going to kill you. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like realistic, like, you know, so depending on your weight is what I off of in order to determine like where we could like just maintain your strength at, you know, especially if you're old. Like I have a 46-year-old client. I'm like, why do you want to hit 315? If you can't tell me why you want to hit 315, bro, we're gonna cap you out at like 245 maybe, and then we're gonna go from there. You know what I mean? Like there's no need to try to hit that. Like be strong, look good, be strong, and look good naked for your wife. Like that's really, so
bro. Yeah. Jay, you made a really good point, and Giselle, you too. This is for you both because I know you both pretty well. When it comes to PRs, because I can't wait to make this a snippet. When it comes to PRs,
if you're not an athlete, don't do it. Straight up.
You just answered my question. Hey, that
do it. Like if there's no need, like again, there's no need. Like all it is a pissing contest. Like, oh, I can hit 315. Well, I can hit 405. Like, okay, and like that's cool. Like if I'm not an athlete, don't do it. Like because as an athlete, you have to get stronger. You know what I mean? If you're not a bodybuilder, if you're not an athlete, for what? There's no need. You just want to. It's just a showboat. Like, how healthy are you? How healthy are you? Like, oh, okay, what's your nutrition like? Oh, it's ass. Okay, cool. Don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, cool. That's cool. That's great that you can hit 220. But I'm proud of you. Good job. But what's that nutrition looking like? Oh, you eating Jack in the Box and McDonald's and all the Zooms and Wham Whams. Like, okay, that's cool. Like,
or they be the ones that are like on all types of supplements too. Like,
yeah. And don't come up to me talking about, well, I go to every Thursday and take a test shot. Then I take protein, and then I take PEDs, and then I take creatine, then I take ATP, BCAs, ECAs.
Like they're on everything, and it's like, bro,
doing no. But what? I had no. I'm sorry. No, get some food. Get and
wait, what was the last thing?
Drink a gallon of water. Bro, I keep a gallon of water. I got a gallon of water right here, like for tomorrow, ready to go. Like, right. You know what I mean? Go to all these, go get them. Actually, got them all up for the month. Leave me alone.
Right. This is why I have to ask this, because I mean, I'm constantly seeing PRs. And again, I love to show that support. I'm always like, hey, let's go, let's get it. But as personal trainers, Giselle and Jay, I'm always thinking in my head, or actually just now from this conversation, I started thinking in my head, I'm like, are PRs even really a thing that's needed? Like, what exactly, for your clients, what I'm saying, when they come to you and they're trying to hit PRs while y'all are training them, like y'all literally tell them like, stop, or like, hey, like, don't, this isn't needed.
No, for me, so what I do is I give them small wins.
Small wins.
Yeah. So like, for example, like my client, and he's a really good friend of mine. But I don't like to be like, oh, hey, like we're going to hit 225 if you don't hit it, because like you defeat them, right? They lose that motivation. Mm-hmm. So what I do is prior to all of that, like, and I keep track of it. So I'm like, hey, like, okay, hey, we're going to hit 135 today, right? We're going to go 135. Then we'll go up to like 180, right? Then we'll hit 205. Okay. If you feel good after that, let's try to hit one more set, right? The feel good for one more set, that's the one where I'm like, okay, if he can hit one more, then this would be his best rep. This is his best set. This is his best weight that he's done in our time frame that we've been together, right? Yeah. So then let's get to 205 on set 3. And I'm like, hey, you're only gonna go for 3 reps, right? 3 or 4 reps. And if he hits them like butter, all right, cool. How you feel? Want to hit? Let's hit one more, right? I think you got one more in you. Just one more rep. He's like, okay, we're gonna hit 225 on. Boom, boom. In his mind, he's like, yo, I've never hit this before, right?
Yeah.
It's like you hit that 225 like butter, or you hit that 205 like butter. Let's hit this real quick. You only got one, okay? I got you. Ready? Boom. Hits it. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because we've already hit the 4 set. Like you've already hit 4 sets now. For like, I'm not gonna keep going. But now I know that you can hit 225, and especially if it's like boom, boom, right? Okay, hey, the next time we're gonna hit. Now we're gonna hit 180 to start, 205, 220 reps. You get it at 225. You know what I mean? Like
small wins.
You're giving them that small win, and if he does 225, you're like, hey, bro, yeah, you killed it with those 3 reps. But 225, we gonna get here one day. Like we gonna get this next time. You got to small win. So technically, yes, you are giving them a PR, but again, it's not like you're training just for the PR, like an athlete would. So that I feel like that's the difference between your average person versus your athletic person or bodybuilder person.
So. And same Giselle, you would say the same with your clients?
Yeah, like I don't really train them for PR because like how I said, being realistic, most people don't really care to train for like that high amount of like intensity or like all of that. Honestly, the general population, they just want to be healthy. They just want a routine to stick to. They just need someone to hold them accountable. They need someone to push them and motivate them. They need someone to structure. They want to learn how to structure a workout. How do they do that? Like they want to learn all those things. Like the general population doesn't really care for all that. Like being real, you know? Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like Jay said, like it's like, yeah, being real, it's just for like kind of show. It's just for like for yourself. I think PRs are like necessary again for athletes, like we said, or if you're training specifically for strength. Because like there's like hypertrophy and then there's like muscular endurance and like strength. Because if you're doing strength, then yeah, you're only gonna do like 1 to 4 reps, possibly like 1 to 4 around there. So, but and again, like I wouldn't do that to a client, for a client unless they specifically ask me to. Then like, okay, sure, that's what they want to do. I'm providing that service. Like I'm trying to get them to that point. Yeah. But if they don't ask me, like, you know, like
you're not gonna press it on them.
You know, don't get me wrong. I still push them. They're still doing like a good amount of work, but it's not to that point where they're like doing PR. No, not really.
Like I know some trainers that will do it for like, well, do it like once a month. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey, like, and it's usually because they're not really keeping track of like how they're lifting. You know what I mean? So like newer clients, like or like newer trainers, like they don't really kind of like they haven't learned the system, you know. So they'll be like, oh, like, hey, like let's hit a PR, you know, next week, you know.
Oh wow.
So, but it's like in a sense, they're kind of keeping themselves accountable because they're like, okay, as long as they're getting stronger, like I'm doing my job. Like, let me make sure I'm on top of my job, like, and like you're on point. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So, you know, he turned 1 now, so he ran.
I was just about to say, how's he doing? He's doing all right?
Yeah, bro. He's just he's a little demon on wheels. Yeah, he's but so.
Bro, it's beautiful, man. That's beautiful, bro. And just a son, right? It was just a son? Yeah. Okay. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Yeah, I hear those lungs. When he screamed, I was like, hold on. Let's look at that.
And that's nothing. Like, that's literally nothing. Like, he will just sit there and just, I'm like, you either going to play sports or you going to get in the booth somewhere because that boy sound like Tina Turner sometimes.
Get that check, man. Tell him to get that check. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah. I love it, man. Again, what you both said, and that's why I had to ask this question. PRs, I think it's something that is always showcased online on social media. But I'm always like, what's the purpose? And again, going back to what Giselle and you, Jay, said, you know, how's your health looking like? What's your food? What's your nutrition? You know, those are the questions I think that really need to be asked because at the end of the day, you know, why are you doing what you're doing in the gym? Is it just to show out, egotistical lifting, which ultimately I feel like leads to injuries for a lot of people? Or are you actually trying to get healthy? And again, Giselle, to hear you say that most people just want that, that's a beautiful thing to hear. You know, I oftentimes don't think that, but for you to say that as a trainer, it's like, okay, cool, you're seeing that. And that is a good thing, because I can't stand ego lifting. That to me is just scary. You know,
think about it like this: like when you're in a gym, like when you go to the gym, again, 90% of those people in there are there, like she said, to work on their fitness. When you look online, okay, you're gonna see one of two things. Okay, looking online and looking at like a just the fitness accounts, right? They're either promoting their business. Well, there's three things. They're like promoting their business, right? Which is like things that I do. Like you've seen my post.
Yep.
Right? It's like promoting your business. You don't really care like what it is that you're lifting. Like I could be lifting 10 pounds. Like I'll post it, trying to get content out, right? Then you people that are doing these crazy workouts, right? Why? For clout, right? So like, you know, jumping over people, hitting the double up, the push up, right? The triple backflip, right? They're just trying to get at their account, right? And then number three is, like you said, the ego lifters, right? Like you have the guys that are like they hit 315 on bench, but it's like no form, right? Or there's no full range of motion, right? Granted, different
full
types
range of motion,
right? So there's like two forms of like motion, right? So like obviously there's the full range, but then there's like you stop like the pause rep and you're coming back up, right? So like I think on my TikTok, right, it's like one of my most like popular TikToks. Right. I purposely do not go down because I just wanted to put content out, right? Like I'm like, hey, right? But I hit 225. You've seen me hit 225. But on this specific film, I came down, right, just right above the chest, right, and then I came back up, right, at 225, right, just to kind of get all crazy. And I'm like I'm literally I'm like, oh, hot, this is funny, right? Knowing good and well I did it just to stir the pot, right? So, but again, those are the things that like people have to realize is like if you look online, like online is a facade. Like people put things on there to either stir a pot or to like make you think that they're doing something more than what they're doing, or they're legitimately just doing their business, right? Versus when you're actually in the gym, seeing people out walking and people actually focusing on their health, like there is a major difference between the right. So, and that's what people have to realize. Like, and when they are looking online, they have to look at it like, okay, is this person really doing this as a business, or are they just out here just trying to be the next fitness creator, right? That's where I think that's like the difference people need to realize.
Yeah. Absolutely. And again, I think going back to you and Giselle, I think you both put out content that is not only promoting what you do, but I think it's valuable. I think it's very valuable. Like, you know, Giselle, some of your content, man, I'm just like, you know, some of those workouts I wouldn't even like do just because I'm just not that into trying out different workouts. But I'm like, man, you know, I leave the comments, I'm like, this will help a lot of people. Or I can tell there's someone I could send this to. You know, like you give out that much valuable content. And then you also, Jay, just in regards to you know, certain aspects of lifting that I've seen you do, the inspiration behind your content, that's what even captivated me at first to even reach out to you. It offers value, and I think that right there alone is what I truly look for. Again, going back to the cloud, I've seen dudes lift, you know, literally lifting the exercise machine on his back doing push-ups. I've seen that. Like I'm like, bro, come on, like that type of stuff I just don't get, you know, like you said, cloud. So it's a whole difference, bro. And I love that you pointed that out. Okay, skipping to the benefits. Again, I know we kind of touched on these things, but we can run through these pretty quickly. What benefits do cardio have over strength training? Just in general, to narrow that point down, what benefits would you both say? Maybe if there's two benefits you can give that cardio has over or against strength training.
Ladies first.
He said ladies first.
The benefits between cardio and strength training, you're saying it has more? They just, I feel like they're overall, most are like similar, but also a little different. You know what I mean? Like, just like this whole conversation, like we've discovered, like, you know, it's all exercise. It's just like a little different, you know? Like, sure, like if you want to like, primarily if someone wants to build muscle, then they are going to go more towards strength training. If someone is trying to run a marathon, then they're going to go more towards cardio. So there's just different benefits to it, you know? But even though they're different, they're all needed in a sense, whether you are like training for something like a marathon or something serious, or even if you're just trying to be healthy overall, if you're trying to be an overall balanced person, you can get a great amount of benefits from both, especially both combined. Like that right there is like the best. That's like the best thing someone can do, is to do both.
It's like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? So you got your bread, but you only put the peanut butter on, and then on the other bread you got absolutely nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you don't combine that other piece, right, you're gonna miss out on something, right? So throw that jelly on, now you got your flavor, right? So now it's just like I said earlier, like all three of these things, they go hand in hand, right? To cardio, to strength training, and to me, I think it's in that order. I think like you can do all the cardio and you can do all the strength training in the world, but you can't outwork a bad diet. But you can have a great diet, right? No cardio, and you can do strength training, unless you're again on PEDs and like all types of other stuff. Like you're not gonna get like the cut result that you're looking for, right? You know, and then you can have a great diet, and doing cardio, but then you'll never get the size that you're looking for because you're not doing strength training. Like you need three in order to succeed. So
in order to partake of the benefits of each of any, you need to have all three incorporated.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. That was well said. I appreciate that. Okay. If you had to choose, let's say if we had to choose between all three, look, I'm gonna split it up again. If you had to choose, which would you rather choose if it came to your overall health? Would you just want to go with eating good, just eating all, nutrition, strength training, or cardio? If you had to choose one and you couldn't do the others.
Well, let's hold on. So now are you saying like if any one of these three, right? Like you're still good. Like you can just say like, I only wanted to focus on strength training and I'm going to get all my benefits. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying like only do one, but I'm still going to miss out on the other, like the benefits of having a good nutrition and good cardio? Like
I would say, yeah, the first one. Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
One, and I will get the benefits of having
exactly.
Well, I like to eat bad, so go ahead, smack me down for some strength training.
Strength training. I feel it.
Still lose weight, like for sure. I'm going to Nothing But Kicks today. Like that's just what it is. A little Chick-fil-A on the side. I'm gonna go work. I'm good. So yeah, no, me personally, like I said, I like the strength training.
Yeah, absolutely. And you, Giselle?
Okay, wait. Okay, so I was a little confused for a sec. Okay, so whatever we pick, it's not
exactly. So
cardio, you're still going to get the benefits of having strength training and good nutrition. If you like having nutrition but you hate the other two, you can just focus on that. Like whatever you choose, you're going to get the benefit of all three.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess I would say strength training, but I do like to eat healthy though too, because it just makes me feel like energized and everything. Like whenever I don't eat healthy, like for like a long period of time, I feel like crap.
Yeah.
Well, because my body's so used to it, like absolutely. Once your body get used to something, like But okay, yeah, I'll say strength training because I do like
Training.
yeah.
All right, cool. No. Look, whatever y'all didn't pick, look, we know that's y'all weaknesses. Look. So strength training, look, nutrition, look, Jay.
Well, okay, what about you? What about you?
Look, I'm asking the questions. Look. Look, I'm the guy with the mic, man. No, I would definitely say for me, man, ooh, I would say maybe cardio. Yeah, I think I'm always in my head. So I love to walk or something because I'm always like in my head, either on social media, writing. I love doing stuff while I'm able to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but when it comes to nutrition, I suck. And when it comes to strength training, I'm very like I maintain it, with just my regular like resistance bands, things like that. Like I just stay at the muscle size I'm at. But cardio, I would definitely say cardio. Yeah. You gonna call me out. That's messed up. I'm like, all right, man. This was super dope. That was the last question I had there. No, actually, one more question. When it comes to cardio, weightlifting, and nutrition, which one would you really choose now? Jay's like, this guy would not let this go.
In button.
He's like, look, I just said we need 3. We need all of them. I love it, man. I love it. Now, that was the last question. Again, man, thank y'all so much. This was great, amazing responses, amazing perspectives. Again, I can't wait to post these because I know some people that would love to hear this. Y'all may get hit up by some people that I follow because again, this is a topic I think that's heavy in the community, but a lot of people don't really talk about it. But today we were able to dig into it and talk about it. And again, I thank you, Jay. Thank you, Giselle, for allowing me to dissect both of you all's mind and be willing to showcase what it is that you both have to offer to the community. Because again, I hope that you both can get clients from this. But with that said, too, Giselle and Jay, I would love to end it off with both of you all's socials. So Giselle, if you want to go first, they probably already know, but you can say it again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everything. Okay. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, just the whole training, all of it.
Training. Nice. And Jay?
Same thing. So Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's always JTrain27. Except for Facebook, it's just JTrain. Yeah, that's basically that. It's usually the symbol. I have like the logo.
Yeah.
In my profile picture, so it's just it's a JT with a shield. So that's you find that found me. So.
Awesome. I love it, man. I love it. And again, everything will be in the descriptions below. I'll make sure I get your socials as well, Jay, and have them posted there as well. But thank you guys again. Thank you too if you stayed this long enough to listen to the entire series, the entire episode. Again, also make sure you like, share, subscribe, support Giselle, support Jay. Show them love in their channel. Again, if you want them to hop on your channel and do something like this, I'm pretty sure they would. Just hit them up. Just like I did. Also, make sure that if you are interested in joining my Facebook group, things of this nature, we do these things every week, Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hit me up and I'll definitely plug you in. You'll be able to join my groups as well and participate in what it is that I'm growing. But with that said, Giselle and Jay, if y'all can hang on 1 second, I'm just going to end the recording. But the guys, thank you. And until next time, as you already know, peace.